Hey guys, it's the Loud Guys. Today we are going to react to the best of Jordan Peterson. And like Jordan Peterson is someone like people have told us that he is like someone who stands for the men's rights. And he's like when there are too many feminists talking about all these things, then he stands for it. And also like when people are talking too much insane about it, like also like there are some very transgender people talking about like extra rights or making sure that they are taken extra care of. So then he's like everybody has to go through the same things. So these are some points that people have told us. So I would like to see who Jordan Peterson is and what does he do and what does he speak. Like we have seen Ben Shapiro and we were very like it was very eye opening for us because like the things he was saying, so that was very interesting. And also we have seen many like men versus women like compilation also, that is also very interesting. So let's see what is there in this video.
Same, I'm also so much excited to watch this video, and I want to say that I'm not a feminist. I do believe that before a female, I am a human being, and I do think that we should stand for equality and we should stand for right. Basically, if the woman is not right and man is right, then obviously we should stand for man. It's not like that we should stand for feminist. We should stand for a female, but there are some people who are feminists and who do believe that whether the women is right or wrong, they always stand for women, which is totally wrong. And I do believe that it's not like that we should give the rights, that we should talk about the female rights and male rights. I do believe that we should talk about the human rights, and because it gonna cover every community into it gonna cover transgenders, it gonna cover basically male, female, and disabled persons also. So yeah, I'm so much excited to watch this video, and I am also so much excited to know what this guy will what will this guy will talk about. So let's watch the video.
Yeah, so this is our first time watching Jordan Peterson, so let's see how it goes.
Why should your right to freedom of speech trump a trans person's right not to be offended?
Because in order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive. I mean, look at the conversation we're having right now. You know, like you're certainly willing to risk offending me in the pursuit of truth.
Yes.
Why should you have the right to do that? It's been rather uncomfortable.
Wow.
You've connected a lot with a lot of young men, lots of different people, but young men
Yeah.
particularly seem to, find something in your message.
Yeah.
I'm a young man. I'd like to be improved, please.
Yeah.
I want to stop being a pathetic weasel.
Yeah, that would be good. Clean up your room. I don't know how you can go out and protest the structure of the entire economic system if you can't keep your room organized.
What are the limits of that idea, though? Because you can have a lovely clean room,
Yeah.
but if for my generation, we're looking down the barrel of climate change, we can't afford a house, some people can't get work, university education's unaffordable. Like there are these huge, massive problems in society and the political economy that are also going to, screw us over in the big picture that the clean room isn't going to necessarily fix.
If you're going to fix complicated problems, you have to learn how to fix simple problems first.
I want to know, what is your answer to young people for some of the really big problems facing humanity, like the climate catastrophe, like economic crisis, like the precarious job market? Because they just don't, like you talk all this much about individual responsibility. Most of us are never going to be able to afford to have all of these assets to have responsibility over. So what is your advice beyond banal comments like clean your room?
It's actually rather difficult to answer a question that ends with your comments are banal politely. I would consider that more of an opinionated personal and political statement than actually a question. So why don't you try reformulating that so that there's an actual question there.
A trans woman is a real woman.
I don't really like the way those questions are formulated. I don't know what that means. What do you mean a real woman?
Well, I'm asking you, in your mind, it depends what you think a real woman is, but do you think a trans woman is a woman?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because I think that women are capable, generally speaking, of having babies, and they have female genitalia, and they have an XX chromosome, and I think the biological markers are relevant.
Interested in people being able to have different choices and having equality of outcome.
Aha, well, so the overwhelming proportion of people who are in prisons are male. Now, do you want to equalize that? Just out of curiosity? What
Nice.
about bricklayers? They're 99% male.
Yes.
And we've got about 3/4 of the population now in universities in the humanities and social sciences are female.
Yeah.
Are we going to equalize that?
Oh.
And men work longer hours. They work more dangerous jobs. They're more likely to move. They're more likely to work outside. They're more likely to participate in jobs in the STEM fields that are scalable. They make more money for those reasons. And that's all hidden under the idea that the reason that men and women make different amounts of money is because of their gender.
Peterson, do you have any comments on the Nazi presence at your protest? The presence of Nazis and white supremacists assaulting people at your protest. Do you have any comment on that?
Yeah, I don't like Nazis. Well, that's highly debatable. That's highly debatable.
Actually,
I mean, one of the
it's
things
absolutely true because there's never been a secular humanist government on the planet.
I don't know. I think the Soviets were pretty secular.
No,
humanist.
Then,
I know
with all due apologies, you do not know the first thing about what secular humanism is. You should read the Secular Humanist Manifesto.
I'm very glad I put you on the spot.
Well,
I'm very glad that I have exercised my freedom of speech.
You get my point. It's like you're doing what you should do, which is digging a bit to see what the hell's going on.
So
and that is what you should do. But you're exercising your freedom of speech to certainly risk offending me.
Yes.
And that's fine. I think more power to you as far as I'm concerned.
So you haven't sat there and...
Oh, she's
I'm just trying to work that out. I mean...
Ha, gotcha.
You have got me. You have got me. I'm trying to work that...
History. I've written the idea that women were oppressed throughout history is an appalling theory. They haven't had a great time, though, have they?
Who has had a great time in history?
Yes.
Men have had less of a
Really?
shitty
Have
time.
they?
Really?
Have they? By what
time.
standard? By what standard?
Well, I'm just saying if you're a woman...
How about war?
But it took longer for women to get the vote, and women belong to their husbands, and in this country, one woman dies every week from domestic violence, a man dies like once a month, I believe, from that same cause. Like, aren't there some clearly obvious things that women are victim of as a result of their gender?
There are inequalities in the catastrophes that the genders are subject to. And so, look, first of all, there's some things we got to get straight. History's a rough business. Everybody had it rough.
Yes.
In 1895, the typical Westerner lived on less than $1 a day, which is absolute poverty by today's standards, right? And so people were brutally poor for almost the entire course of human history. It was rough. You say, well, did men or women have it worse? It's like, well, that's a complicated question. But one of the things you can say is everybody had it pretty damn bad.
Yes.
Marxists say, well, that wasn't real Marxism. What it really means, and I've thought about this for a long time, it's the most arrogant possible statement anyone could ever make. It means if I would have been in Stalin's position, I would have ushered in the damn utopia instead of the genocidal massacres, because I understand the doctrine of Marxism and everything about me is good. It's like, well, think again, sunshine. I'm not suggesting in the least, and have never suggested, that there's no domain for social action. I'm suggesting that people who don't have their own houses in order should be very careful before they go about reorganizing the world, which happens in many ways.
Like, I like this statement a lot.
Backlash against masculinity, and a sense that there's something toxic about masculinity.
But what is this idea of being
such.
over? Why is society overly feminized?
Well, I didn't ever say that society was overly feminized. So if we're going to discuss my views, we should use my actual words.
Women got full legal rights.
People have the right to determine what language I use, especially when it's backed by punitive legislation. And when the words that are being required are the constructions, they're artificial constructions of people I regard as radical ideologues whose viewpoint I do not share. That's pure narcissism at work, by the way.
Yes. That is narcissism.
A question for Professor Peterson. Why do you feel that someone's personal gender identity and pronouns infringes your free speech? Can one not also argue, based on your interpretation, that professors can use racial slurs in their classroom and that the inability to do so would violate their freedom of speech?
There's a difference between saying that there's something you can't say and saying that there are things that you have to say. And I regard these made-up pronouns, all of them, as the neologisms of radical PC authoritarians. Do you understand that? And I'm not a fan of that sort of person. And the reason I'm not a fan of that sort of person is because I've done my homework.
Yep.
I've read everything I can get my hands on in the development of authoritarian political systems, and I know the literature inside out and backwards. And I am not going to be a mouthpiece for language that I detest. And that's that. Whole patriarchy thing. I think you have no idea how pernicious and dangerous it is.
Well, no, I don't. I really don't. Go on.
It was a very eye-opening video, and the best part about it was like, if you want to change the world, first like make up your room. So that's a very important thing. If you cannot like clean up your room and keep yourself good, then it is very like very bad of you to expect good things from other people and like expect the best things to happen to you. You have to make sure that you are right and you are always in your right place. So that was a good statement, and all the other things that he was doing was literally very good, and like it's the feeling inside you, and you can say that okay, you are right. Like the pronouns thing, I also don't agree to it. Like everybody writes on their Instagram like I am they, them, or he, she, this and that. Like what the heck, like it should be very common and like normal. And if somebody is talking to you, if you don't like, just say to them, okay, you can say it like you can say this to us, so okay, he will start saying that to you. But why you have to be so out and out like okay, this is what you have to say to me, you have to call to me, and you have to take care of it. Many people, like in India too, this is coming slowly and steadily because we too are too much westernized. So due to that, like we too are getting a lot of these things in India too, but not as hard as it is in America. And all the other points also where he was like making sure that okay, that interview was the best, when that woman was saying that how is like when you are using your freedom of speech and you are not offending someone by using that. So he was like, you are also doing the same to me, and she was dumbstruck.
Yeah.
She couldn't reply to him. So that was awesome.
Seriously, I like this man so much, and there were 2 or 3 statements which I like most. First one was that room statement, as Bhavan said, that I also do believe that first thing which we do after waking up is we should clean our room, because I do believe that when you start solving this a little bit problem, then you start solving the bigger one. So I also do believe that. And when he said that mostly men have basically pressure of society on themselves of earning. Basically he said that mostly men shift to other countries because of the work. Mostly men do more work as compared to females, and there were like 2 or 3 things which we said. And seriously, I do believe that yes, men have more pressure than females of earning, because especially in Indian culture, it's very normal. If female do not earn, then it's totally normal. But if man will not earn, then everybody gonna talk about himself, and everybody gonna make him feel like a shit. So I do think that we should change this. And he said that if female earn less than male, then we said that she's a female. And I do believe that we should not give us any side to any gender, because they are weak because of physical appearance. And yes, we female are weak as compared to male physically, but I do believe that not we are so strong mentally. And seriously, I like this whole video, and he's so motivating, and most importantly, he's so genuine, and he was saying harsh truth on the face. So that thing matters so much. I really like this video.
Yes, and I would like to watch like him speak more. So do let us know more video of his. So do like, share, and
Subscribe.
bye.